here. Are you still upset about it? And who wouldn't be, Grandma? It's my favorite holiday, and I can't even celebrate it with my favorite person. I love my grandfather more than my own father. He was with me in every aspect of my life. He understood me and supported me. If I went wrong somewhere, he was the one who would scold me about it and give me solutions to correct my mistakes. It was really unfair that a drunk driver had to take him from me. My grandpa was walking back home after buying some presents when a stupid drunkard crashed into him. It wasn't even Grandpa's fault. He was innocently and responsibly walking on a footpath. The driver escaped from the scene and is still wanted. After the accident, my grandpa went into a coma. It's been 4 months. He would be the one to save me from my bullies, including my father. But since he's not with us, I have to suffer it all alone. If I shared this with my father, he would immediately think that it was my fault and I deserved it. I know, honey, but your grandpa would not appreciate it if you spent your Christmas being upset over something you had no control of. Just thinking about him brings me to tears. Maybe God will bless us and cure him really soon. Don't lose your faith, Andy. Has the driver been caught? No, but the police are trying their best. We must trust them on this. How can you talk about faith and trust, Grandma? If God wanted to, he could have saved Grandpa from this accident. And I don't even trust the police. Not since that incident. My father is abusive toward me. I had reported it to the police, but my father used his privileges of being a retired Navy officer and turned it on me, saying that I had become mentally unstable after my mother's death. After her death, I supported him. I was the one who took care of him whenever he would come home wasted. I can't really remember when it all started, but I'm desperate for it to end. When we got home from the police station, he beat me continually for 2 hours, even forced me to starve that night. I wish I could be there for you, sweetheart. I really do. Is there any way I could give you some comfort? Take me with you. Please. I want to see Grandpa. I miss him. Dad has never let me out of the house within these 4 months, except for school. You know I can't. Please, Grandma, I'll go insane. I just want to see him once. Okay, but we will return as soon as we meet him. Your father must never come to know about this. He won't. When are you coming? I will reach in a few hours. Get ready. I was really excited when I saw Grandma's car in the driveway. She asked me to get in, and we drove off. If anyone could see me, they would say that my eyes were shining brighter than any Christmas lights. I was finally going to see my grandpa. When the hospital came into my sights, my heart started beating faster. I didn't wait for Grandma to finish parking, and I ran toward the elevator. As soon as the doors opened, I immediately clicked the floor where my grandpa was and anticipated to meet him. I reached the floor and walked near a plaque that described the room numbers and which direction they were in. Room number 404. There it is, I read and went in the left direction. Soon I came across Grandpa's door and opened the door. You little shit, where are you? Why aren't you replying? You better reply, trash. Who told you that you could leave the house? Did you forget who is in charge here? You are a good-for-nothing donkey. My happiness was short-lived. My phone kept vibrating with messages. When I saw who it was, my heart dropped. I didn't understand what I had done so wrong to deserve this. I knew what was waiting for me back home, but I paid my attention to my grandfather because I risked this for him. Grandma soon enters the room, and by seeing the look on my face, she gave me a sympathetic look. He found out, didn't he? She asked. I nodded and looked back at my grandpa. He was so distraught after your mother's death. I thought therapy would help, but I guess he can't be changed. She put down her bags and sat on the sofa. I could care less about my father. If he tried to become a better man someday, I don't think our relationship would ever remain the same. We're at that stage where the relationship cannot be mended. I held Grandpa's hand and started caressing it. "Why can't you take me away from him?" I asked. "We tried, sweetie. We tried a lot. We even said that we would legally adopt you so that he doesn't have any responsibilities related to you on his shoulder. But..." She stopped midway. I turned to her, still holding Grandpa's hands. "But what, Grandma?" She hesitated for a while, but continued. "He threatened us that he would take you somewhere far away and would cut all contact with us. Your grandpa feared that your father would keep you locked away from the world, so we gave up on that topic. He doesn't want me to leave him, but he still treats me like crap. That made no sense." An hour passes by and Grandma got up, saying that we needed to leave as the visiting hours were over. I didn't want to leave Grandpa, so Grandma gave me a solution. She said that whenever she would visit Grandpa, she would bring his phone with her and inform me that she was with him. I could always message him, and when the time would be over, she would message me. I agreed to it and left, but not before having one last look at Grandpa. When I opened my chats, I had over 100 messages from Father. All of them were threats and words of degradation. "You're dead meat." I just went to meet Grandpa. I missed him. "Did you ask for my permission?" "No, I am extremely sorry. I will be home soon." "I hope you know what's going to happen now." I did, but I wished for it to be over soon. It took longer for us to reach home because of traffic. Within that time, I got no messages from my father. I would have preferred to let him vent some of his anger through his messages, but no messages? I couldn't even imagine the lava waiting to burst through the volcano and burn me with its intense heat. Grandma dropped me off. Before I could leave, she pulled me in for a hug. "You're very strong, Andy. I'm proud of you. Things will get better soon. Trust me." Her words managed to comfort me a little. When I walked through the door, Father grabbed me by my hair and threw me to the ground. "You dare to disobey me? I should just get you admitted in the bed right next to your grandpa. You would like for that to happen, wouldn't you?" The discipline session, according to my father, went on for an hour. Being done dealing with me, he finally tossed me next to the dustbin. "That's where you belong." He stomped out of the house, probably to drink again, and I went to my room. I cried to sleep that night. Next day, "Andy, I'm here at the hospital, honey. You can message him now." "Thank you." I start messaging my old man. "Hey, Grandpa, how are you feeling now? You know, this should feel weird. You aren't awake, and I'm still messaging you. But honestly, it doesn't. It feels like you are listening to me. I have been missing you a lot. Please wake up soon." I didn't realize when I had started crying. My sight became blurry for a moment, though I quickly wiped my tears. I couldn't waste my precious time with him. "LOL, I'm crying. It's hard, Grandpa. It has been so difficult not having you around. My bullying has become worse. Father has become so hurtful toward me. I am lost, Grandpa. I am nothing without you. Grandma told me how he threatened both of you. I want to thank you for at least trying to save me. Except for the bullying, things are pretty good in school. I scored the highest marks, and my teacher applauded me before everyone. So what if every student glared at me after that? I know I'm going to do much better than them in the future. But I will only be able to do that with your support. I wish for your speedy recovery. I was startled by a notification, thinking that he replied, "Honey, I'm sorry to interrupt, but time's over. I'll message you again tomorrow." Thank you for doing this for me, Grandma. I feel so much better now. This is the least I can do. If there is anything else, don't hesitate to share it with me. Okay? Yes, Grandma. Good. Now focus on your studies. How is he now? Did the doctor say anything about his condition and recovery? He's not sure. He says we can only hope for the best now. I am worried that someday he is going to say that we have to make a choice of letting him go. Don't go there, Mary. Barricade your mind against these thoughts and spend your time on some activity you love doing. You like painting, don't you? Why don't you make one for David? I am sure he would love it. I still remember the day when I made David a portrait and he shared it with his friends. I can never forget his smile and the look in his eyes. It made me fall in love with him all over again. The accident has broken all of us, affecting Andy the most. Mitch has never been the same since becoming a widower, so I never expected him to console Andy. I had to become the pillar with a strong support for both of them. I know we said we won't be thinking about it anymore, but any news on the driver? The police have gotten information of his whereabouts, and they are preparing to catch him soon. That is great news, Mary. You will get justice soon. So what's the point of getting justice when my husband is not even in the condition to see it? I am sorry. Also, I have not seen Andy since the accident. He doesn't even reply to my messages anymore. Do you know why? It's Mitch. Of course, I should have guessed. Does he still hurt Andy? He does. I have someone in my contacts that can help you guys, but you must promise me you won't share this with Mitch. What do you mean? I know about the adoption, Mary. I also know that these vile threats given by the man you call your son, someone I know has connections with the senator and has agreed to help you. Mitch wouldn't even have the time to take advantage of his privilege because this will happen very quickly. So, should I give him the green signal? What will happen to Mitch? He will be put in a rehabilitation center, or maybe behind the bars, considering the severity of the case. If Andy confesses in the court, Mitch could face a good amount of jail time. I don't know if I can do this, Rachel. He is still my son. That would be too harsh of me. And you think that little boy is not suffering because of him? I know you are tired of him, Mary. There is a lot on your plate right now. I'll leave you to think about it. 2 months later. Hey, Andy, how are you? Please reply, child. I'm worried sick about you. I'm fine, doctor. Are you sure? I can help you. You just need to open up. Remember our sessions? Follow the points I told you so that your mind will be relaxed. I don't need any help. Whoever says that betrays me in the end. Why do you say that? Grandma told me that I could message Grandpa on his phone whenever she would visit him. But now it has been 2 months. 2 months and still no message from her. I might be at fault in this. I informed Mary that there was someone who could help you from the clutches of your father. It must have hit her hard. She is a mother after all. I told her to think about you as well, and then get back to me with her decision. I don't care about me. I just wish someone would fill me in about Grandpa's health. Father has stopped talking to me, only beating me up occasionally. It's Christmas next week. I have no one to celebrate it with. I'll visit your grandpa today and tell you what the doctor says, okay? You have me, Andy. I won't leave you alone. Thank you, doctor. The night before Christmas. Grandpa, it will be Christmas tomorrow. If you were awake, I would have told you what I wanted for presents. But now, I want nothing more than for you to get better and talk to me. I miss your hugs. It has been 2 months now. Even Grandma has stopped talking to me. I don't know what is going on, but I just want to feel loved and wanted. David sends a picture. I thought I was hallucinating, but Grandpa or someone in his phone had sent me a picture. On its top, adoption paper was written in bold. I read it further, and the paper stated that my grandparents had officially become my legal guardians and that they had my full custody. Merry Christmas, Andy. Your old man is here for you now. Please tell me this is really you, Grandpa, and not someone pretending to be you. Grandpa sends me another picture of himself throwing a peace sign. I want to see you. Is Grandma with you? Will she pick me up? When did you wake up? How are you feeling? My emotions knew no bounds at that time. I started sobbing and clamped my hands together, praying to and thanking God for this miracle. So many questions. She will be there in an hour. I woke up 5 days ago and asked Mary and Rachel not to tell you. And I'm feeling better, my boy. Now that you have become my legal guardian, will I get to live with you? Indeed. And what about Dad? He will be admitted to a place where he will get a good treatment. Don't worry about him, son. He won't harm you again. Mitch wronged his little boy and deserves his punishment. I wish him all the best, but I will never allow him near Andy. I will make sure he won't be able to contact him, even after my death. Mary told me everything about Rachel's advice when I woke up. She did hesitate a bit, but finally gave in when I continued to poke her about it. I immediately agreed to the plan, called Rachel, and finalized everything. Will you let Andy give his statement? Rachel asked. I closed my eyes for a moment and thought of the younger Mitch. He was a lovely boy, but he was destroying his own lovely son. I will convince him. Surely it would be hard at first, but after I explain him that it's for the better and Mitch will get treated, he will agree. Andy was our priority for now. I want to scream in joy, but I'm afraid Father will hear me downstairs. Scream all you want, little one. He is not home. Huh? Andy disappeared for a few moments. That's true. Where has he gone? He never came home because the officers caught him at the local bar and locked him up. I hope he recovers soon and becomes a better man. Same here, Andy. Same here. An hour passed while I was chatting with Grandpa. I heard honking outside the house and saw my grandma giving me her pearly smile. Aren't you getting in? She asked excitedly. Finally, all my sufferings were coming to an end. 4 days later. Considering the testimony given by Andy Connell, the court pronounces Mitch Connell guilty and gives him 3 years of jail time and 3-year rehab. Court is now dismissed. Everyone stood up in respect as the judge left the courtroom. Grandma hugged me tightly as Grandpa gave me a thumbs up through the phone's screen. Dr. Rachel was thanking the lawyers. I looked at my father being taken away. He gave me an apologetic look and mouthed a sorry before leaving. All of us went home and prepared for New Year's celebration.